So what can you say about Drew Brees? I mean, honestly, where do you begin? After 20 years in the NFL, the future Hall of Famer retiring this offseason after one of the most remarkable careers we have ever seen, spending 15 of his NFL seasons with the Saints, a Super Bowl champ, a Super Bowl MVP, two-time Offensive Player of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, Walter Payton Man of the Year, a 13-time Pro Bowler. Like I said, where do you begin? Taking a look at Drew Brees' career ranks after spending half of his life there in the NFL. All-time ranks, first in many categories, second in some. So like I said, spending half of your life in the NFL, where do you go from here? And we are more than pleased to welcome in future Hall of Famer Drew Brees to CBS Sports HQ. Okay, first time in 20 years. You're not prepping for an upcoming season. So what would you normally be doing now, and what are you actually doing?
Well, I guess that, this is mid-April. So, the draft is right around the corner. So you'd be anticipating potential draft picks and how that's going to, change the look of your team going into the offseason program. This is right around the time when the team would start getting together and start the weight training and the strength and conditioning and all that, just getting ramped up for OTAs and minicamp. Obviously, we're still in a little bit of uncertain times coming out of COVID, not sure what the offseason, is going to look like. But at the end of the day, it would be very much around football and prep for the offseason program. So now that I am officially retired as a player, it's gearing towards. There's a lot of family time right now, which is awesome. Coaching my kids in a lot of sports, watching them play. So that's been great. But a lot of community initiatives, a lot of things with our foundation, a lot of business opportunities, and also ramping up for my job, my new role with NBC. As broadcaster for Notre Dame home football games with Mike Tirico and doing Football Night in America as well.
You've also been playing some golf. I saw you were at the Zurich Classic Pro-Am. My question about that is, though, nothing having to do with golf. It's you were talking to reporters. You said you've been able to do things with your kids, not necessarily dangerous, but things you wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. Mountain biking, skiing, e-foiling. I didn't even know what that was. I Googled it. It looks cool. So what has that been like for you? What are you up to?
Well, I'm a pretty, I think, active personality. Can't sit still. Really have to be doing something, especially now that I'm not obviously training for football or to play quarterback, which is a very specific thing. I get the opportunity to now channel that into other things and try some new things I really maybe haven't been able to do because it was probably against my contract. Things that maybe are a little bit more daring. Like the mountain biking and the skiing and the e-foiling. But no, I just more cross training, more of an opportunity just to kind of do the stuff that I want to do rather than what I have to do from a training perspective. When I was playing quarterback, which is nice. It's refreshing. There's a lot of family activity in there as well, hiking, bike rides, etc. So it's been good.
I appreciate you bring up training because you announced your retirement March 14th. Exactly 15 years today, you signed your first contract. And I don't know if you knew what you were doing when you put out that workout video at the end of February. You threw us all for a loop. Your trainer, this is you, saying something must be brewing. He's never done this before. Drew Brees, I need to know what was going on here, and did you know what you were doing to your fans?
Well, I know this. Well, first off, my trainer, Todd Durkin, he has been my trainer for 18 years during my career. And so he's one of my great mentors. And he's a guy that I will continue to train with throughout the offseason, just like I have a little bit this offseason. And, I jump in with the NFL guys who I've trained with before, and get a great workout. We push each other. We joke around. There's a lot of camaraderie there. I think he was stoking the fire a little bit intentionally just to kind of have some fun, just to see what kind of a reaction, we would get. I wouldn't say that was purposeful on my part. I was just, bottom line is we were at the end of a workout, and we always end it with a challenge of some kind. And the challenge that day just happened to be, timing, pushing this sled. And I was like, well, let's do something we haven't done before, and let's add a little bit extra onto this. So instead of pushing it to the line, I'm going to push it all the way to the street, right? And then come all the way back with it, which, like I said, that was just a first. And I kind of just made it up as we were going along. So I think there was some genuine reaction on his part, as in like, he's never done this before and that kind of thing. But obviously it was taken as, something must be, he must be training for something. So that was some good fun. I think we got some people talking with that.
Yeah, a little bit. It worked. Congratulations to y'all. All right, let's talk about the Saints and their future. Now, obviously, you moved on, but specifically when it comes to quarterback, because there are two people there that have now been able to watch you. They have stepped into your shoes at times, but you know things about Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston, that we don't know. You know them very well. So what do we as fans, as the public, the media, what do we need to know about them and the Saints' future with either one of them?
Well, I think you had a chance to get a glimpse of Taysom Hill last year. He started 4 games for us. I thought he did a phenomenal job. I thought the team did a phenomenal job around him as well. And listen, Taysom Hill is one of those guys that if you commit to him, if you commit to building an offense around him, I think he could be very successful, and I think he could put you in a position to win a lot of football games. Jameis Winston was a 5-year starter with Tampa. He comes over to the Saints last year. Unfortunate for him, he didn't get a preseason to, hone his skills within our offense and really get some of that experience and that exposure. He was able to come in for a half of football against the 49ers this year, and I thought did a great job. So I think both those guys, honestly, if you build an offense around them, I think both of them could be great players and win a lot of football games. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, they're on the same team, and so that becomes a competition. And yet, I think there's value that both those guys possess.
Drew, at the beginning of this, you mentioned the draft, so let's stay with the Saints for a second. You were involved in the draft process, looking at positions you guys need, people you think you should target. So is there anywhere in particular you think the Saints need to go when it comes to the draft?
You're always trying to build depth, at various positions. I know this, you can never have enough pass rushers, right? You can never have enough offensive linemen who can play multiple positions. Those are just such valuable players, because that's really where the game is won and lost in so many cases. It's your ability to control the line of scrimmage. Obviously, if you can have if you obtain another playmaker on offense, that all of a sudden just brings this new element or a complement to Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, et cetera, right? Listen, defensively, I think that we've done a great job through free agency and through the draft of creating this nucleus of players that, we're still in that window. When I say we, the New Orleans Saints are still in that window, right, of being able to be very successful on the defensive side of the ball. But any pieces you can add to that is just gravy.
I think you can always say we. It will always be a we with you and the Saints. Looking at the quarterbacks, though, obviously Trevor Lawrence is the heaviest of favorites. You got guys like Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Mac Jones. There's also value, as you well know, in the second and later rounds. Is there anybody out of the quarterbacks in this draft that you really like, that you're really keeping an eye on?
It's as deep a quarterback first-round draft as I think there has been in a while. I think the expectation level for all these guys is, they can step in and have immediate success. The programs that they're coming from, their exposure up to this point, not only, I think, systematically in regards to X's and O's and their understanding of the game, but also just the high level that they've played with all major colleges and, big time football, right? Been in big time situations and games. I think they're all poised to step in and be able to contribute very quickly. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out, but I would say that this is probably one of the more exciting draft classes as there's been in a long time.
Drew Brees, you're here with us on behalf of Lowe's. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'm the general manager for the 2021 Lowe's home team, which is an assembly of players, some draft picks that you'll hear about soon, Justin Fields, Najee Harris, and others, where we're combining with Lowe's associates and nonprofit organizations to do work in our community, strengthen our communities, make our communities better. Lowe's has been committed to this for a while, whether it's renovation projects, building projects, special projects in communities. They, for example, distributed 1 million Christmas trees last year over the holidays to folks around the country, and we were able to help them with that in New Orleans. So that was a lot of fun. But anyway, just a great campaign. And if you want to learn more about it, just go to lowes.com/NFL.
Drew Brees, thank you so much for joining us here on HQ. Enjoy your summer. Have fun. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.